This vehicle is overtaken by kudzu, just like the hundreds of graves on the hillside behind it.
Most of these stones here were handmade by a woman that was local.
And our heritage literally is underneath kudzu here.
Yeah.
Where I'm standing and what you can see looks like any other cemetery in eastern Kentucky. On the side of the hill, mowed, a little family cemetery. But what you don't see is what's important. And that is on the other side of this wall is acres of kudzu and graves that have been overcome. And a group of students from the University of Pikeville who are working to cut that. They're working with Tabitha Wallen, who has Appalachian Cemetery Preservation. It's a group that she and her husband run, and that's what they do. On the weekends, they get out and they clean up these cemeteries. And with groups like UPike, who a lot of times are looking for volunteer opportunities with their students, that's the story today. It's not the fact that we're thankful for the family that does take care of this one little area, but it's taking care of the ones who the families may have moved away. These are older graves. The families may not be around here anymore. They may have passed away, or sadly, many times they're just forgotten. But that's what this is all about, is bringing these things back to the surface and documenting efforts like this. When you have cemeteries like this, that's pure kudzu. I mean, they're tough. I mean, this stuff has taken over everything.
It is.
What's the main thing that you guys want to get accomplished today?
Clear as much as the flat as possible. Like I see, there's burials like right underneath the tree line. From the stories that I've been told, there are burials as far up as the water tower, all the way to the edge of the mountain. There are 40 verifiable up here, but it's finding those that aren't documented.
And you feel like that there are many undocumented here?
The family that owned all of Garrett moved in here. They acquired this land in 1868. In 1869, they put in a post office. So they lived here. So there are absolutely more burials up here. It's just finding them. There are babies up here that are not marked. The founders of Garrett are said to be buried up here by all accounts. It's just finding them.
Now let's circle back and look at the bigger picture. Your group, what is your group called?
Appalachian Cemetery Preservation. I inherited all of my great-grandmother's research. She did this in Virginia and over around Elkhorn City and Pikeville. And when she passed, I was the only other one that wanted to do this. So I took it on, I expanded her research. And as of right now, my husband and I, we maintain 12 cemeteries across 2 states.
Wow, okay.
Mostly family cemeteries. This is the first one that is a public cemetery that we've been able to do. But the land sits abandoned, so anyone can clear it. Most of these are my husband's family, so we can repair the stones. So, but anybody can be buried here. We just got to keep it cleared off so that they can.
Right. Why is this important to you? Is it just knowing what your grandmother and your heritage is?
If you were forgotten, then you're just gone, like you don't exist anymore. And if these old cemeteries are not cleared, you don't know that they're here, and that's a piece of our heritage that's lost. Garrett's not an old town. It was created in 1911 by the Elkhorn Coal Company. So it's just a little over 100 years old, but it's been here a lot longer. The first verifiable grave here is 1867.
Oh, wow.
So people have been here longer than just 1911. And it's a piece of not just my husband's family, but it's the heritage of Floyd County. These were the pioneers of our county, and we can't let that be lost, because if we don't know our history, then we lose a piece of ourselves.
So who taught you how to take care of the headstones?
My great-grandmother. She would go to cemeteries and she would take me, and she's cleaning off a distant family member that she knew as a child, but she's telling me stories as if they're standing with us.
Right.
She would talk to them and update them on family as if it was like a mini family reunion. And I always remember that. And so my husband jokes that I speak of the dead as if they're still living.
Well, I
Because
said
if they're forgotten, then they are completely gone.
I said just yesterday, looking right at that camera, I said you never know who you're going to meet in a cemetery.
No.
Because everybody has a story.
Every single stone tells a story.
I mean, walking through these old cemeteries, take a notebook, take your phone,
Absolutely.
take pictures of them, and then go home and go down that rabbit hole.
Yes,
Go
you
down that
never know
rabbit
what you're going to
hole.
find. Well, the founder of Garrett, it was Ballard. From 1869 to 1911, it was Ballard, Kentucky. That's what the post office was. And the man who put in the post office was a Civil War veteran, served the entire war. And he's supposed to be here somewhere.
Like so many communities in eastern Kentucky, southwest Virginia, southern West Virginia, all of Appalachia, or really central Appalachia, we're built on coal. A lot of
Every
these,
bit of us.
it's coal
Yeah.
camps. The coal company came in first, had to have the people,
Yes.
built the coal camp, and then what happens? We die. We have to have cemeteries.
Yeah, they brought in immigrants. There are immigrants that are here. There are sawmill workers from before the coal company came in. There's sawmill workers up here. And they very far from home. A lot of miners, black miners, came from Alabama, and because the family couldn't afford to ship them home, they're here. And so that's their story, and their family in Alabama might not know where they are. They know they went to Kentucky for a coal mine, but what mine?
Do you primarily work with like Find a Grave? I find that that is becoming the primary resource,
Very
and I'm
popular.
also finding that it is, we've not scratched the surface.
No.
I mean, I'll think, oh, find a grave. I'm going to go and find a grave. The cemetery that I know is there, I'm standing in, I'm looking at, doesn't exist on Find a Grave. So is that primarily, do you update and create? When
Daily.
Okay.
Daily. I'm always finding new stones, and that's part of this project, is finding those stones and putting a face to a stone.
Right. And I know I stopped your work for a few minutes,
No,
but
that's fine.
I promised you I would come up here, and I wanted to. I want to showcase this. You know, we wander through the woods and look a lot, but we're really not doing the hard work. You guys and all of the volunteers that you have, you're doing the hard work, because we can't go and find a grave if we can't see a grave. This is kudzu everywhere, acres of kudzu.
Yes,
And that's your goal today, right? Is to cut through the kudzu.
it is. Most of these stones here were handmade by a woman that was local. Her daughter is coming in the fall to help restore a lot of these, because it's also her ancestor. Viney, that you can see back here, same style, same person made it, and because they are concrete, they can be painted. Not a lot of stones can. It is not recommended to paint the vast majority of stones. But given that these are concrete, Lowe's, Harbor Freight, most any hardware store will sell that paint. The cleaner that I use now is Endurance. You can buy it from Atlas Preservation online. It's $35 for a kit. You get a gallon, you get a spray bottle, and some brushes. You probably won't see much on these, but you just spray it. And most stones, if you can't read, once you get it wet, you'll definitely be able to see it pop out. When Linda did them, she painted them white, and then she used black for the letters that you can see on Viney's.
Yeah.
Viney died of tuberculosis. She did not marry or have children. The best thing for this is to spray and let it sit about 10-15 minutes. You will see what's called a blush. If there's a lot of growth on the stone, it'll turn orange, red, brown. I've even seen purple. It really depends on what type of moss and mold are growing. And then a soft bristle brush. You get big brushes from Atlas for larger stones. You can get these at Walmart. It's a Tampico brush.
Okay.
Get them in the kitchen aisle for dishes. And then it is just short circular motions. And like I said, George doesn't have a whole lot of growth because it is concrete. If there is heavy debris inside, I get these by the 100 at the Dollar Tree. It's just a skewer that's used for barbecuing, and you can just scratch everything out. And I don't have any with me, but on occasion you will find a stone that you would think is unreadable. You've wet it, you've scrubbed it, and you still can't find anything on it. Get the really cheap, thin aluminum foil from the Dollar Tree, put it across the face, use a soft brush or even your hand, and just rub it in, and it'll bring it right out. But yeah, usually I'll spray it, scrub it, rinse it with water, and then spray again with the Endurance. And again, if there's a discoloration, don't freak out because it's not going to hurt it. Okay. And within about a week, you'll see a noticeable difference. Okay. If you go to Pikeville Cemetery, the Elliott plot, just past the Allaire Library on the left, you'll see a double stone that is very bright white in all of that dark. It took me 2 weeks to get it that color.
Really?
Yeah. That is a huge misconception when people first start doing this. They think they can use any cleaner. Well, my granny always used Dawn. Well, that's okay on certain types of stones. Yeah. Like the concrete, it's not going to hurt it. The polished marble, it won't hurt it. But you get the very old stones that are the granite, the real soft marble, and the detergents will slowly degrade it over time. I know they used to use mean green. It's absolutely horrible for a stone. It acts as an acid and it will eat away the stone. Any type of bleach.
What about like crown cleaner?
Even like the bronze military markers. Yeah. Atlas sells a bronze cleaner, and it's an oil. You just put it on with a soft brush or a wash pad. Again, Dollar Tree is going to be your best friend doing this. You're going to find tons of supplies. But anything like that, I've actually seen someone mention using an angle grinder. Really? And a Dremel to redo these. Now again, the concrete stones are very forgiving, but you've got to be careful with it. And I even had someone suggest for this cemetery, just burn it out. Heat damages every single type of stone. And for the concrete stones, you don't know if there's a hidden air pocket. They might have survived for 75 years, but if they get too hot in a fire, that air pocket will explode the stone. And then you've lost that record. Yeah. And for a lot of people who died before Kentucky kept burial records, you have just completely erased that person's life. Yeah. No stone comes completely clean, pristine, back to the day it was set immediately. It can take as little as a week. Like I said, it could take 6 months. For some that are extremely heavily covered, it could take a year. At the end of the day, it's hard to walk away from a stone that doesn't look like you've done anything to it, except wet it or covered it in orange paint. But give it a few days. Let it rain a couple of times to wash away that blush from the cleaner, and there'll be a difference in a few days, but not immediately. Okay.
This game.
So I came up the hill and I found a guy with a machete, and I was filming him and he turned around and I'm like, I know him. This is Rob Music. I know you're the chaplain at the university, but somehow this sort of falls underneath you too.
Yeah, I think 12 or 13 years ago we started the first day of service for our first year students. Now it's morphed a little bit. It includes like our football team and our soccer team, which they already served. I think we had maybe 160 of those players already out, and then today we have about 215 students who are out, and they're serving in 19 different locations in 3 different counties.
Wow. And I'm glad that you've got a good group. You've got a dozen or so students here today. I mean, cutting through this massive kudzu.
Yeah, this is probably the toughest site today and farthest out, and they've been amazing. The students have worked really hard, no complaints, have just done whatever we've asked, and they're kind of like goats on the hillside right now. Literally.
Literally. How important is it for these students? Because I know we're shifting a little bit off the story, but it's back into being community service, service-minded.
Yeah, I think, we try to understand that from 1889, people have given to help start the school, and we're all recipients. So our job our responsibility is to also to give. Everyone has something to give. So this is kind of a first way to really pour back into the community for all that the community is doing for us.
And then shifting gear back into what we're doing I mean, there are so many overgrown and neglected and honestly forgotten cemeteries. And I think we're seeing a shift, or at least I am personally, with the people that are commenting on what I'm doing. I mean, we're seeing a shift of interest in our heritage. I mean, and our heritage literally is underneath Kudzu here.
Yeah.
It's grown up in the woods. I mean, our cemeteries aren't documented.
No doubt. And actually, one of the projects that really inspired me was a remembrance project in Wayland that Kentuckians for the Commonwealth did to kind of unmark or kind of locate the black graves of that area, or slave graves. And that was very inspiring. So we also wanted to help here.
Yeah. And I just hope we keep this going. I mean, I'm seeing younger and younger people. Oh, you know, it's like I'm 52, and I've just realized recently, oh my goodness, I don't know my ancestors.
Yes.
And then when you start looking, the people are gone.
Yes.
And we're like, oh no. So I think we're seeing younger people really saying, oh, Mama or Papa, I need to go talk to them now.
Yeah. It's important, right? Everyone wants to know their roots.
Yeah. And guys, really, that's why we do what we do. We're telling these stories. We're bringing awareness to efforts like this because we're seeing a shift. We're seeing a shift where younger people are being more attentive to the graves of their loved ones, and they're wanting to learn about their heritage. And if we keep telling stories like this and efforts like this keep happening, then how many of our Eastern Kentucky, Southwest Virginia, Southern West Virginia cemeteries are we going to be able to visit and really honor those who lay there?